What's going on, everybody? My name is Trogdor, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the very first week of the UPBA, the Up Jumped Pikachu's Battlers Alliance. That's right. It is a very exciting first week. Of course, it's not the first video. I did my draft analysis, like, was it last week? Was it earlier? I don't know. And my team builder as well. So go check everything out if you haven't already. This league is already off to a very fun start. I, of course, am going up against my good buddy Zane Goose, who you see right there. His team, he brought, I should have had these loaded already, but he brought kind of close to what I expected. He, of course, has the Zygarde. He has Manaphy. It's like, why would you not have those things? Like, come on. Rhydon, I'm kind of surprised to see it, but then again, it did come in a couple mocks, and it's a pretty good check to my Mega Mawile. Probably that or the Uxie has rocks right here. Zygarde, you know, is a super scary threat. But anyway, I've got my Mega Mawile, Salamence, Raikou, Vaporeon, Celebi, and Golurk, which, if you watch my team builder, you know my sets. I'm going to lead off with my Mawile here, just to get some big damage off on something right away. If he wants to go for his rocks, that's cool. I'm only not going to be staying in against the Rhydon. Celebi is a pretty decent switch into that. And yeah, otherwise I can basically survive any one hit and get huge damage off on anything on his team except the Rhydon. So turn one will most likely just be a kill for Mawile. So let's see how that goes. I'm going to press play here. So yeah, he's going to be issuing a challenge in just a second here. So yeah, Zane's a really good player, so I don't know how this battle is going to go, but then again, I'm also a good player. So he leads with Thundurus, which is pretty cool, as I lead with my Mawile. I doubt he's going to stay in at all. So Intimidate goes off, that doesn't really matter, except, of course, he brought the Defiant Thundurus. So that could be a physical Thundurus. I don't think it gets any decent coverage for me, but you know, he could have, like, surprise, surprise. I'm just going to go for a big play rough right here. I could have gone for the substitute predicting a switch, but I'm just going to, like, get big damage off on something. And, yeah, so something's going to be hurting real quick. So I am, of course, going to Mega Evolve. I forgot the pacing of Wi-Fi battles. I'm so used to the pacing of Showdown, which is, you know, always pause, play, pause, play. But this, there's enough, like, animations everywhere that, you know. So I eat that U-turn up with all three of my mouths, because even at +1 attack, that did nothing. So of course the Rhydon comes in. I'm, you know, going for a play rough, and if it connects, it's going to do a pretty decent chunk. So that does pretty close to, that's like 40 to 50%. I'm going to go into my Celebrate right here, and based on that damage, it's not fully, that is not a fully Fizz-Def Rhydon, which is very good to know, because now a really big hit from the Salamence can KO it, a really big hit from the Golurk can KO it, and of course anything that, you know, Celebi can scare it out really hard with the Giga Drain. So Celebi comes in, goes for the EQ, and that's doing, like, literally nothing to me. In hindsight, Mence would have been a good play here too, but, you know, I'm not Intimidated or whatever. So I'm predicting that he's going to be scared of my Giga Drain right here, because of course it, like, donks him. I'd get back up to full. So I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity and go for my rocks real quick once all these animations finish happening. So I go for my rocks. He actually stays in, and I figured, like, oh, maybe he's just going for his own rocks, but instead he goes for the Mega Horn, which I'm a professional Pokemon player, and I forgot that Rhydon got the Mega Horn. So that came as a surprise to me. I was like, oh, well, that just happened. At least I got up my rocks, and at least Rhydon is at such a percentage that I can come in with Golurk and go for a really big fat EQ right here, because he doesn't want to switch Thundurus into this, obviously, because I can eat any hit from that as well. So go for the EQ, and it actually lives on, like, 1. So that was kind of unfortunate. But he can't hit me that hard. He does go for the Toxic, which, yeah, Golurk isn't going to be, like, staying in forever. At least I'm not a Rock Polish set. But I'm going to go for another Ice Punch right here because it's just a better move overall for whatever wants to come in next. Because, you know, Thundurus would be immune to the Earthquake, Uxie would as well. Zygarde would have taken very minimal damage from that. But I am poisoned now, which is, you know, that's unfortunate. I got to get out of town real quick here. So Manaphy comes in. I'm not gonna mess around with this. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm just gonna go straight into my Raikou. If Celebi was still around, this would be helpful. But yeah, Raikou's gonna come in because I am Spadef enough and I resist its stab. So I'm just gonna like not take any chances versus this. It's not a Z user, luckily, so he couldn't have gone for the Z Rain Dance right here. That's scary damage. I'm not gonna mess around. I'm just gonna go for a Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt takes out the Manaphy, which it's actually, I'm about this. So many people who watch my videos or team build with me or anything like that know that I really hate running Life Orb, and more often than not will prefer running the likes of Expert Belt, or in Raikou's case it would be like a Zap Plate or something. So Zane prepped Manaphy in accordance with that, and it's like, oh, I can live a timid Expert Belt Thunderbolt from Raikou after rocks, and he was actually Salac Berry. So Salac Berry would have gotten a +1 speed. He was going for a Tail Glow on this turn right here. So me taking out the Manaphy right there was pretty huge. Luckily, I did have the Life Orb, but I still despise that item. But yeah, Ribombee comes in next, and I don't want this thing to go for a Quiver Dance or anything. That would be really unfortunate. He's just going to go for a Fat Moon Blast. I am Spadef, that's probably going to take me out, which, yeah, there it goes. The crit didn't really matter because he is actually a Life Orb Ribombee, so yeah, it didn't really matter. I also thought he was Specs for a second there, but yeah, Life Orb damage happened. So I'm going to tank, I'm going to like eat up any hit that he has to offer. Like the best thing he can do is that Moon Blast, which is like, yeah, that's cute. And there's no chance to survive. There's absolutely no chance to survive Make Your Time. So yeah, Mawile picking up a really big KO right there. It's currently, let's see, it doesn't have like the Pokeballs on the post-battle screen, so that's kind of annoying. So I've KO'd the Manaphy, the Rhydon, the Ribombee now. He's KO'd my Celebi and Raikou, so I'm sitting up at 4-3 right now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I KO'd the Manaphy, Rhydon, and the Ribombee. Yeah, I'm sitting up at 4-3 right now. So he's going to go into Zygarde, which I do not live a 1,000 arrows from this range, which it is unfortunate, but I don't really have a switch in for this thing. Like, Golurk is pretty low. Vaporeon I need to be at full, and Salamence, you know, I'm not going to take an Outrage. So just in case he wants to set up right here, I'm not going to give him that opportunity. So either he sets up right here, I go for my Play Rough and blow it out of the water, or he goes for the 1,000 arrows, KOs me, I bring in Vaporeon and dunk the Zygarde. So yeah, either way, you know, I don't really need Mawile. Like, he has Uxie left, which Golurk can kind of take care of that. Thundurus is a little bit annoying for me, but still. Yeah, I just don't want to mess around with this Zygarde. He takes rock damage and, of course, goes for the 1,000 arrows. And yeah, Mawile goes down. But I did not want to give that thing a chance to set up. So now I'm free to bring in my Vaporeon. I am, you know, at full, so I can take any one hit from this thing and dunk it with an Ice Beam. So he does go for the Dragon Dance right here, so I can go for the Ice Beam. It's got like a 50% chance to kill after rocks, and he like can't KO me at +1 unless it's like Devastating Drake. Even that's a roll. So Ice Beam brings it down to almost dead, and that roll was heavily in Zane's favor, but that's alright. As next turn, I'm just going to go for a Roar to get rid of this thing. But he goes for the big Z power. So Devastating Drake right here, I'm assuming it's coming in. That's got a... It's at +1, probably Adamant, and has like a 40% chance to kill me. And after this, I go for the Roar. It comes back in, dies to rocks. So let's see if I'm going to get lucky here and live this hit and be able to dunk the Zygarde. But nope. That's not happening. Now, Vaporeon, you had one job. You had one job. You got 2 bad rolls, Vaporeon. How dare you? How dare you? And yeah, it's faster than my Salamence. Golurk can probably take a hit, but I don't think that crit mattered because I was more speedy than bulky. And now Salamence comes in. I'm not Intimidate, and I'm not Scarf. I'm Z Moxie, so he is just going to like go for a big fat outrage right here and take out my Salamence. And that's game. So yeah, Zygarde just kind of like manhandled me. He got 2 crits with the Zygarde, like neither of them mattered. So yeah, he just kind of yeah, so good game, Zay. That was a pretty back and forth battle. It would have continued being so if either of those rolls were in my favor, but you know, that's Mons, that's all right. I didn't really at the end have much for Thundurus anyway, like Raikou had already gone down. Probably had HP Ice for my Salamence, and I don't know if it had Dark Pulse for my Golurk, but I was at enough HP where I think I could have taken it out. And then Uxie, I probably just would have had to like just do big damage to it or something. So could have been it would have been like a back and forth game. We were pretty evenly matched right here, and it just came down to, you know, when you've got almost evenly skilled battlers, which you could argue that Zane's better than me. He's definitely more like credentialed than I am. And like when both of us build well, it just comes down to hacks and stuff, which, yeah, still a good game, I thought, back and forth until the end there. So I start out 0-1, -3. That's not the best place to start out yet. And we battled pretty early on relative to the rest of the league, so I don't know exactly where I stand now. But, you know, I'll bounce back. We got 12 weeks. I can still, in theory, go 11-1, but that's, like, let's be real, that's not going to happen. But, yeah, good. Still a good way to start out the season, so kind of happy for that. Yeah, good game, Zane. My opponent's link will be down in the description along with everyone else in this league, so if for some reason you've checked out my channel but no one else's, go do so. But let's be real, you're either one of the 16 people participating in this league or you've come from someone else's channel. So yeah, that's all I've got for today. So yeah, leave a like if you like the video, comment down below if you got anything else to say, and subscribe if you are new and want to check out the rest of my season and any other videos that I may do. So yeah, that's all for me. I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.